teach?
So no, it's so I actually it's so funny because I moved out here and I was pursuing everything, and then I met my husband. We started being friends first. We were friends for years, and then once we decided to start a family, I went into corporate America and I worked in property management for over 13 years. So I
Yeah.
actually just went and took a leap of faith last December, and I left corporate America to get back to pursuing my career in ministry and things like that. So I've been actively a recording artist for over a year now.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hmm.
So I I do have to question some of your timeline though, because it's
Okay.
hard. You said you did one thing 13 years, but you look like you're still in your 20s.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So
I appreciate
people
that.
people gonna be questioning that. It's like, hey man, this this chick says she did one thing for 13 years, but she look like she just graduated high school.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I
Hey,
appreciate it. It's so funny because I was at church on Sunday, and some of the ladies there heard me say my age, and they were like, "Are you serious?"
ah,
They were like, "We thought you were part of the youth department." I said, "Well, God bless you."
wow,
But
that's
I tell
crazy.
people that a lot of times we look the way that we live, and I believe in living a life of holiness and being set apart. And I like living that way. I like looking that way. So I try to
Yeah,
keep up with myself and keep myself healthy and live a healthy and holy life.
yeah, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So I know you said your mom was over the music department.
She was one of
Uh,
the choir directors at the church that we attended when I was
so
in Louisville.
is that influence? Was she the reason you thought about singing?
You know, my mom has she's no longer with me, so she definitely still inspires me. But my mom, she believed in me a lot of times more than I believed in myself. I would tell her something. She's like, I already knew you could do it. I already knew this was gonna happen. That don't surprise. She's like, I'm waiting for you to realize what you can do.
Yeah,
And I always doubted myself in church because I can't do all the musical acrobats. I'm not one of those singer musical acrobatists and doing all the flips and the runs and things like that. But people would still love to hear me sing. And I'm going to be honest, it was the school system, it was the teachers besides my mother that really pushed me to believe in myself because they encourage you. They were like, oh my gosh, your voice is wonderful. Like
yeah,
they love you. So a lot of times I would hide behind acting, and I would go out for acting roles, and then people would find out I could sing. So I would hide my voice behind acting because I was so insecure in that area. But to God be the glory. My husband believes in me just as much as my mother did. And he was like, baby, you have a beautiful tone. And
yeah.
he said, as long as you stay in your lane, we know what you can do. And then we'll grow and expand. You'll get better and better. That's what we'll focus on. So I know that my mom had an influence because we always listen to all the old records. Like we still have a record player. Me and my
What?
husband have one in the house. Yeah, it's right over there. We keep a record player because we grew up on records.
Yeah,
So we still keep all the records. When she passed, I was like, hey, that's one thing I want. I want all mom's old records because we used to, even after church, we would come home and listen to music. We would watch the live concerts, John P. Key, when he would record his live concerts and stuff like that. And we always went to concerts. I love music. One of the best Christmas gifts I remember getting is a karaoke machine.
yeah.
And you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was the star. And if I wasn't doing that, me and my cousins, we were playing choir. So we were always just into music. I always had a love for music. I love music, but I also love acting. I love to perform. And I realized at a young age I could use those gifts and talents for the Lord. And that's what I want to do.
You know, it's funny how you know the music and arts actually go together. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because I've always been involved with that type of thing as well. I did get in trouble in high school one time because we were supposed to be doing a Christmas play,
Hmm.
and I decided this is a funny story. This is an old man story. You know, old people tell stories. I decided to make three tablets out of aluminum foil, and I was supposed to be a wise man, and then I held up the three tablets and I dropped one like it was the Ten Commandments during a Christmas play. I almost got kicked out of school for that. That's funny
Oh
stuff.
my
So I think that
gosh.
ended my that ended my acting career.
They told you that you were no longer to be an actor.
They said you just about getting ready kicked out of school, son. Don't ever do that again. It was a funny
Were you at
story.
a Christian school?
No, I was at a public school, but I
Public
was in
school.
the deep south, and everybody saved down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right. That's right.
Everybody saved. So, um, you just recently recorded a Christmas single.
Yes, I did. That is written by Aaron Sledge, who is a writer and an artist himself. And it was just funny. I was working on a stage play. I was going to rehearsals, and him and my husband were in the studio, and they called me. I had just landed in Sacramento to go to rehearsals, and they called me. It was like, he was like, "Yo, V, I think we should do a Christmas song." And I was like, "Huh?" I was so blown. I was like, "Why do y'all want to do it? Why do y'all want me to do a Christmas song? I'm still, working on my album." And my husband was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do one." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it's like, "So you need to start thinking about if you want to do something original, or if you want to do, is it a classic that you like?" And I was thinking, I was like, the thing about when you do covers, if you don't do that thing right,
Oh,
if you don't do that thing right or better, it really ain't gonna go nowhere. You have to surpass the original, or you just gonna get lost in the sauce. So I
yeah.
was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? He asked me, what did Christmas mean to me? And I explained to him what Christmas means to me. And then when he sent it back to me, I was like, he completely embodied how I feel about Christmas. And Christmas has, of course, some sad moments for us, because since, I lost my mom, my husband lost his dad 4 months after my mom passed away. So, and it was right at Christmas time, that like right after Christmas is when his dad passed. So
Wow.
it's a challenging time for us, but this uplifted us. And now my mother-in-law claims this to be her song, and it makes her happy. It brings back joy to us during this season. So it was my mom's favorite holiday. I have a sister that passed away a couple of years ago, and one of her lines of work was a tree slayer. And she decorated trees for the holidays because she loved Christmas as well. So for me, this song just makes me remember them. It's like a tribute to them, and it makes me feel so happy. So I'm glad that I went along with the journey and trusted them to say, "Hey, we should do a Christmas song," because I absolutely love it. I feel like you can feel Christmas when you listen to this song.
So tell the people the name of the song,
You Make Christmas.
and I mean, so we can go into a whole theological session about "You Make Christmas."
And that's what I wanted to do. That's why I named the song that, because they asked me, they was like, "So what's the name of the song?" Because they didn't really have a title. And I said, "You Make Christmas." I didn't want to put Jesus, You Make Christmas on there, because I didn't want people to understand who I was talking about. Like, just listen to the song and you'll find out. But I feel like it's so many ways people can take that. And I wanted it to go deeper, to remind people that no, he makes Christmas. Like, this is what it's really about. Despite all the other things that we do, he is really the reason, that we celebrate Christmas.
Wow, wow. So I have a question. How did you and Ontario start working together with him? Let me, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know it, Ontario Richard is one of the greatest promoters you'll ever meet. Such a
Wow,
nice guy.
Such a
Um,
kind person.
he is like we chat all the
that's
time.
a
We
nice.
we we text each other all the time. He sends me a lot of his indie artists. Well, he sends me just about all of his indie artists,
Mhm.
and he never he never sends me anybody that's whack. I appreciate that, bro. I
Thanks
appreciate.
for putting them on and then getting them shot, man.
Oh
Definitely
yeah, yeah.
appreciate
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, and
it.
those of you that are tuned in live, all you have to do is if you go to your app store and type in Live 365 from your Play Store, it's a free download, and download Live 365, and then type in J Will Gospel Radio. You can listen to gospel music from indie artists and mainstream artists. You can listen to all this Christmas music that's been put out there. You make Christmas is on the station in rotation. It's some good
Thank
stuff.
you.
So back to my original question: how did y'all become to work together?
So I was up north actually. I was getting ready for the show, and I always saw his information in his place. You know how on Instagram every your algorithms, the way it works, you'll see different people's stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna send him my music and just, see how it goes. I've seen a lot of people that I know, that's been played with him, and then his information, his page um Oklahoma victory worship would just come up. Radio, I would see it everywhere, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. I sent it to him, and he loved my single "You Did It" that came out in February of this year, and I was so grateful for that. And we talked, and then I was like, well, I'm working on a Christmas song. Let me know what you think. And then from there, it worked out.
So I do want to say I don't have that song you did in February. I need that.
Okay.
I need
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
I should get
And
it.
that one is featuring Mr. Talkbox.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm loving it already. So Ontario,
Yes, sir.
when what are you looking for when artists send you their music? What in order for you to promote? What are you looking for? Specifics.
Uh, I would say even outside just promoting, even just playing on the station, clarity, um, the vocals got to be good. The mix and master is very important as well. The cover art definitely got to be professional. The pictures got to be professionals. Pretty sure you received some stuff that wasn't on at a good quality. You know, sometimes people just don't know what to send. Sometimes, or they don't know if what they have is true quality or not. Because sometimes they might have just went to cousin John who plays guitar at the church as a producer, and that might not be their strongest. So overall, just 100% quality across the board. Um, Personality, got to be able to get along because if you can't get along, it's gonna be a lot of headbutting, and of course, definitely got to have the drive. You know, I should be promoting them more than themselves. Like for example, if somebody go to their page, they should know that they're a singer or a musician or whatever it may be. Um, so yeah, that's some of the things.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool.
So, uh, Miss Vanessa, Mrs. Vanessa, excuse me. Um, I know that. So tell the people where can they find the project You Make Christmas.
So You Make Christmas is available on all digital platforms. You can buy it in iTunes. That's my thing. Buy it, stream it, and share it. So you can go to iTunes and find the song, or it's on Amazon, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, it's everywhere. It's available on all digital platforms on YouTube. They can find my social media at Vanessa Lovice, Vanessa Lovice. I'm on all social media platforms as well. And the
Okay.
song, like I said, was written by Aaron Sledge and produced by my husband, Marcus Hodge.
So I'm gonna get to that in just a second. But if someone wanted you to perform, um, do you have a email address
Yes,
or
for
yes?
booking, yes, it's vanessa.lavice@gmail.com.
Okay.
Very simple, vanessa.lavice@gmail.com.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like strong coffee, go to strongcoffeecompany.com and type in J Will Podcast as a promo and get 20% discount of all your purchases. Okay. And so your husband's a producer.
Yes,
You
he
were
is.
saying, I see you sitting in the studio, look like y'all ready to go to work right now.
I am. I am. Hmm.
So, how is it living with a producer? Because sometimes we some funny people, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny.
Y'all got like this.
Ontario, we talked about the same thing. He's
Yeah,
like,
y'all,
how do y'all work?
yeah. How do y'all work? Y'all got like this. Well, judging that I don't see any bruises on you, y'all don't have this Ike and Tina Turner relationship. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
not at all. We actually work very well together. Um, he's open to hearing me out, and I respect him enough to trust him to lead me and guide me through this process. My husband's been in the music industry for 25 years professionally. He moved down here from Northern California and he was in college down here, and he had a tour or opportunity right when he was about to graduate to go on tour with Raphael Sadiq, and his life just took off from there.
Wow.
So because of like his success thus far working with Tyrese Gibson, Dietrich Haddon, TGT, James Fortune, his Tone out the box. That was his first production. That was his first time at producing.
Really?
And you see what that song did and that
Yeah.
album did. So I trust him. I
You
trust
should.
him and then he trusts me. And it's so amazing because now, even if he's working on music that's not mine, he'll come and wake me up and be like, babe, I just need you to come listen to this real quick. What you think about this? Or what is it missing? Or and I'll tell him, oh, I like this. Or I didn't like that. Or we work very well together. And it's so funny because we now arguing about stuff about the house. What's here, what's there, and placing. Oh, all the time. That's just, we just fuss at each other. But when it comes to music, oh my gosh, what we create together, it's so magical. Starting with my son. My son is so intelligent and talented. He is working on three instruments: piano, drums, and a guitar.
Wow.
My son has perfect pitch. So if I don't know what key I'm in, because I don't have perfect pitch, I'll ask my son and he'll say, oh, mom, it's this. It's B flat. I'm like, okay. And he literally tells it to me, and Marcus like we're slow. He looks at us
Now,
like we're the problem. And he's 5 years old. He's a model. He's an
oh
actor.
wow.
Yeah, he's
Wait a minute.
modeled for Target and Walmart. Yeah.
He has perfect pitch at 5 years old.
He's had perfect pitch since he was three. This didn't start at five. He just turned five. He's had it since he was three.
See, uh, Jay will love the kids, y'all. We love the kids, but I don't like your son.
I'm sorry.
I know, because I have to sit and think about it sometimes.
Oh no.
But I know guys with perfect pitch, and those guys are monsters when it comes to music production and hearing and stuff like that. It is incredible.
Yeah. And it was funny. We were sitting at my mother-in-law's house when Marcus discovered it. And what's so funny is that I'm in a sorority, and when I pledged, they named me Perfect Pitch because I had to sing a lot. You get it. So when you're
Yeah.
going through that process, I was singing a lot. Okay. So they named me Perfect Pitch. Now I don't have perfect pitch. I don't, but that was my line name and I ran with it and I love it. So we were sitting in my mother-in-law's house and we were just sitting around and we have him decibels. As a baby, my husband started letting him watch this YouTube teacher that taught kids how to play. And he said, people start their kids off with instruments. You need to start them off with decibels.
Oh,
It helps them to learn music better. So Houston has always worked with decibels. And my husband was just sitting there one day and he was like, Houston was playing with his bells, had them all lined up because he has to have them in order. And he just started calling out notes to him and Houston would hit him. We
wow.
recorded it, it's on my page, and he would just hit him and hit him. And if he got one wrong, he would go back and go, oh. And now my husband keeps on his phone, it's an app where they'll play the note and you have to hit what key it is. And he started getting it at 100%. Just
Wow.
start acing it. So yeah, this started when he was three though. He's 3 years old.
Man, it's incredible to see how, this really started with the grandparents and it's going down
Hmm.
because your
Hmm.
mom was into music,
Hmm.
you're into music, his father's into music, and
My
now it's
husband's grandmother was a piano player, and then his mom played the piano. His aunts sang. We are just a very much musically inclined family, for
wow.
sure, for sure, and I'm very grateful for it. But not to be too deep, but when we talk about music and how me and my husband work together, I look at what we produced together,
Yeah.
even in our child, what we birthed. So what we created together. I look at that and I'm like, we work well together. We created something magically within our son, and now we do it within music. So,
Well, I mean, I tell you, y'all keep having them, man. Y'all be like the Jackson 5 right there in a
no,
minute.
no, 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 no. We done. We one and done. I
Oh,
tell you, my husband got started a little early without me. So I have two wonderful bonus children.
okay.
I have Malachi and Sarai, my bonus son and my bonus daughter. And I'm gonna tell you with this song, what touched me the most is that my kids love it. And at 24 and 19 and 5,
Yeah.
they'll tell you that it be your own kids that let you have it. And
Yeah.
literally, my daughter was coming to visit us and Marcus picked her up and he played the song for her and she loved it. And she's like, Mom, I think you should do this and we should. She's like, I feel like it should be in movies. She's like, I hear this song on television or in movies. And my bonus son, he is the youth pastor for his church in Northern California. He's in Stockton, California, and he's over the family and youth for his church. And we're so very proud of him. And he's in ministry, and he loves it. And he called us on release day and was like, Mom, Dad, y'all did good with this one. Like, my
Wow.
son Houston loves it, knows it, will be around the house just singing it. He loves it. And Houston is so, because he has that ear. If he, when we were creating the song, he's like, Daddy, you should put some more drums. Or Daddy, did you put guitar? Like, so I'm like, oh my gosh. But he loves it. So for all three of my kids, and I'm telling you that daughter of mine, she hard to please. She is hard. She was like, Mom, I put it on my page. I said, you put it on your page, on your social media
Wow.
for your. She was like, yeah, I put it on my. And then her mom texted me Tuesday and was like a video. And she was like, we're at the house having a listening party. Sarai's making everybody listen to your song. And I'm like, so you know that you have something special. This song is so very dear to me. I really love it. I really love it, and I appreciate Ontario trying to help me, as much helping me, not trying, but he is helping me get it out as much as possible, and so that other people can feel, the happiness and the joy that this song brings me.
Now I know when Ontario sent it to me, I was like, "Oh my god!" And and I don't like to be too pushy, but then he hit me back and says, "Hey, she's available to do interviews." Okay, bro, let's do it. Like no
Oh,
questions asked. Like I was like, "Bro,
thank
appreciate it,
you.
man. Look, if I had $5,000, man, I'd send it to you right now."
And I would
Cause
use it for the music.
yeah, yeah. So,
It's
um,
expensive being an indie artist. Y'all know. Y'all know
bruh,
it gets expensive being. I was just on Instagram and Money Long was talking about how she didn't know it was this expensive to be an artist. Like, it's expensive, and especially when you're an indie artist. But I thank God that I have a brilliant husband, and we've been able to make some things work. And because relationships, building healthy, positive relationships, being a good person, it goes a long way. And we have a lot of people that's supporting us and that's willing to help and contribute to the success. But I'm just so grateful, for my husband that, has the talents to produce the song. My husband actually mixed and mastered this song.
yeah, that's what's
This
happening.
Yes, he was like, I'm gonna learn how to do it. And he did it. I was so proud of him. So but yes, it can get expensive being an indie artist, but I so appreciate that. I'm so glad that you love the song. I really
Oh,
am.
absolutely. I love it. I've had feedback from my listeners, and Ontario
Wow.
Ontario loves it because he wouldn't even you know work for you. You know what I'm saying?
I
He'd be like,
appreciate it.
I don't know, go back to
Thanks.
the drawing board on this one. What you say, sir?
I said that's very true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah. So, are you working on any other projects right now?
I am. So I'm working on my debut album. Like I said, my debut single came out in February of this year, and that's called You Did It, featuring Mr. Chopbox. And that's written by Aaron and produced by my husband as well. And Chris Black, they both produced that track. And we're working on the rest of the album. And I'm blessed enough now that B Slade, formerly known as Tone, he's been helping out now. And he's like, I want to get involved because we let him hear some of the music. He's like, okay, so where am I at? Brother, sister, where am I at? I'm like, bro, you can give me another make me over again, another work on me.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Woo! So I'm so excited because I have the best team. They know how I feel about the Lord, about my relationship with God, and they know that I'm focused on improving my relationship, growing in Christ, being spiritually grounded, being ready for whatever, for the takeoff that I know that is coming our way. And they're working on all the logistics. And then when we come together, we just ready to rock and roll. So we are working on the rest of the project that should be released in 2026.
You know, I'm so glad to hear you say that you love the Lord
Oh, I'm
and your
crazy about
your
them.
relationship with God, because I know, and I know y'all don't find it strange, but I know people that do gospel music that really don't believe.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like, how can that be? Like, so I'm a vegetarian, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
You can have they had for Thanksgiving we had a big old turkey, I smoked one on the grill with some in some mesquite wood,
Mm,
Oh,
and
nice.
I did some chicken
Mhm.
for my wife and my brother and his wife and kids, and I could see that chicken sitting there and that turkey sitting there, and I didn't want none of it
mm,
because that's who I am.
mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
I guess what I'm asking is, how can a person that don't believe
Absolutely.
be a performer or teach the word of God or sing the word of God? How can that be? Are we living in that bad of times?
I think that
Yes.
we are.
A lot of
Go
people
ahead.
do it for the check. A lot of people do it for the check.
Man, I
So,
I tell
because
you what,
I would
go
see
ahead.
where people fail in one genre, so they cross over to the other genre, thinking,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, if I fail over there, I might can make it over there." Because I want to see a lot of people come from the R&B world
Mm-hmm.
to gospel and vice versa. And sometimes it worked out for them, and sometimes it didn't. But I think it's more so, like I said, for the check and the fanfare, should I say?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I don't do this for the check. Of course, you got to sell a ton of records. You got to have a
Mm-hmm.
ton of streams before it even, because I mean, like, what is it, like 0.34% is
Yeah,
Before you even get
what the,
anything.
something
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, what the royalties are. Like, people don't believe that. Like, it costs you, $3 to $5,000 to produce one song, and
Mm-hmm.
then you may get 0.35%
Back. Yeah.
royalties from somebody playing your music. And you know, you got to do this because it's in your heart to do it and for the love of music, not because you
Absolutely.
want to receive a big payday. Like, you got to sell
Absolutely.
15, a million records before you can even, get any serious money.
Yeah. I
So,
think the good thing about the Lord is that we know that he will always be victorious. He'll always come out on top. And I think that there's a reason why CC Winans is as successful as she is because she has never wavered. You know, she believes in what she sings about. And I think that even though it's a lot of artists out here, because I believe you, you can tell in what they post and where they are, the way they dress, the posts that they like,
yeah,
not only the content that they post, but the content that they like and enjoy and entertain. You can, it's gonna show. But I think it's the reason why there's a CC Winans that does so well. You know, that woman, Lord, I love her. I met her earlier this year and I completely fanned out. I was like, I mean, this is just the epitome of, royalty to me. The Winans and the Clark sisters. And I think it's the reason why they're as successful is because they really love the Lord. One thing I heard the Clark sisters say and Kiara Shear, they always talked about Kiara Shear Kelly. I always hear them talk about how they still serve at church.
yeah,
They still serve the Lord and they still serve at church. So
yeah,
that's a big thing.
yeah. I know another artist. Um, Her name is Shekinah Foster, who she's a member of Bishop Shear's church. And whenever she posts something, you always see uh, Karen Clark and Dorinda Clark doing something at church. And I think that's, if you're a
All the
believer,
time. It's so important. Yeah.
it is very important. I mean, I still serve my home church. Oh, what's up, bro?
They want to talk to you. Can you start trying to talk? You want to talk?
That,
I told
that-
her he needs to be quiet. So let me tell. Go ahead. You want to
what's
talk?
up, bro? How you doing?
You just hurt your nose a little bit. Say hello. You just hurt your nose a little bit. Okay. Say hello though. Can you say hello? Tell them your name. Tell everybody your name.
Oh,
Well, he's
he's doing some.
Houston Hodge. He just had hurt his head a little bit. No.
Oh man, that's what's happening. Mama still got to be mama.
All the time.
Yep,
All the
yep.
time.
So tell me, who is your, I, and this is a loaded question. Who is your favorite artist? I
That
know
is
there's so many, huh?
it's so many. I'm wearing one of my favorite right now, Whitney Houston, i.e. His name. Um love Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
Huge Whitney Houston fan. And that's why he is it well, it's twofold. Whitney Houston, and then the first time me and my husband went out to have a very nice dinner together. We were still friends. He thought we were dating. We weren't. We were just friends. Was at Houston's the restaurant. So that's how Houston got his name. But Whitney Houston is one of my all-time favorites. And then after that would be the Clark sisters. I love them. I grew up on the Clark sisters. And then I could go on, but Whitney Houston is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have comments or questions you'd like to ask, go ahead and put them in the comment section, and I should be able to see them. And if your question is appropriate, we may ask your question. But keep in mind, don't be putting no inappropriate questions because you're gonna get booted off, and we just don't do that. So, what makes you stand out, or what do you think makes you stand out as an artist?
Well, I think we already talked about one that I truly love the Lord. And
Yeah,
it's not a lot of us out there that truly love him and love him enough to serve him. I'm not just a fan of Christ, I'm a follower, and there's a difference. So I think that's what makes me stand out for sure. And that I love what I do. I love music. I love the arts. I have the heart of a musician but the mind of an actor. And I like for people to hear my music and see a picture.
yeah.
So I think me being focused on Christ and what matters in my family, I think, and then putting my heart and my soul into what I'm delivering and putting out there so they could reach the masses, I think that's what is going to make me stand apart.
So, if you were to compare yourself to an artist with a similar style, who would that be?
Okay, so I always could, because I love Erica Campbell and I know her personally. I always used to tell her, she was like, when she would perform, I'd be like, you like my gospel Tina Turner. My God, because Erica can perform. When she sing,
Yeah,
I need a
yeah,
little more juice. Y'all seen her perform, Erica gets down. And Erica is such a sweet person. I know that she lives what she sings about. Um, I would have to say, I would have to probably say Erica Campbell for sure.
yeah. So, as an artist, what are you most proud of?
I think thus far is when You Did It came out 2 weeks later, it crossed over to the R&B charts and made it to number 12 on the
Yes.
Apple charts. So I think that was a huge accomplishment for me to be a brand new artist and crossing over with my Christian message and my inspirational song to R&B charts and hitting number 12, the number 12 spot. And it was right at the time that Angie Stone passed away. So when she passed away, of course, her music went crazy on there, and I think that was one of the reasons we even moved. We even moved because we were there for a while, and I was so proud of that. I couldn't believe it. My mind was blown.
Wow.
So I think that's my proudest accomplishment. And
Man.
after that, it would be you make Christmas. Because I had no idea that Christmas songs can be a hit or miss. We talked about like Christmas songs can be a hit or miss, and I feel like this is a good one. So I'm very proud of what this song is doing thus far.
Yeah, surprisingly, and I don't know if Ontario can speak to this as well, but surprisingly this year, the Christmas music that I've gotten has been really good.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some really original Christmas tracks this year that have really been outstanding.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's usually, let's see, my camera messing up. That's usually not the case. I just feel like with Christmas music, sometimes it could be a hit or miss. Can you
yeah.
guys see me? I think my camera is
No, I can
messing
see you.
up.
I can see you.
Okay, perfect.
What do you say about that, sir? You getting some interesting
Uh,
Christmas music?
yeah, at first it was kind of shaky. It was shaky ground at first because a few people had some bad mixes and some people had just had bad vocals, but it had to turn around. Started getting more original music. It wasn't just the standards like your Silent Nights uh, and Joy to the World. That people was submitting like real original music, and I think that kind of you know I guess encouraged me to still do like a Christmas mix because I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna do one this year. So, but like I said, it's been solid. I said last 2.5 weeks or so. Yeah,
Believe it or not, man, I've been getting Christmas music since October.
yeah, yeah. Same. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, how many songs gonna be by Christmas, bruh?
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I've been getting them like and I was getting so many that I had to like I I started labeling them Christmas in folders
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
couldn't remember which artist was Christmas, and I was spending too much
Yeah.
time opening up
Hmm.
files to put music on my
Hmm.
show, the Unsigned Artist Gospel Show and the
Hmm.
J Will Gospel Show.
Hmm.
Um, Hit me up if you got music or you're an artist, you want your music potentially featured on one of my shows. Lee Will, the letter J at gmail.com. Lee Will, the letter J at gmail.com. But I got a whole lot of Christmas music. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know. It was refreshing to see that people are still being this creative with
Hmm.
Hmm.
something that's, I don't want to say stale, because that's a strong word, but so old.
Hmm.
Because, I'm getting ready to be 56 here soon,
Hmm.
and I've been dealing with Christmas for 56 years. But to hear something refreshing and brand new come out was pretty great to me. Like, you make Christmas was really refreshing to hear.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that this year a lot of people felt like we needed it with the
Oh, yeah.
government, with the shutdowns, with, just starting off the year in California with the fires. We had the plane crashes. Remember, it's been a tough year, I think, for a lot of people. And people generally get depressed and sad around this time of year. And especially with people not working all year long, there's financial hardships. And I think everyone felt like we need something to uplift us right now, something to encourage us. And I think that's what put everyone into the Christmas spirit and maybe wanting to record music this year. Because a lot of people did record music, Christmas music this year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like, I was like really floored. So, what types of challenges have you had with getting your music out there? I know everybody has their own different stories, but from getting it from the paper to the booth to getting it out.
Well, I don't think it hasn't been really a challenge from paper to booth. That hasn't been a challenge because, like I said, we're very blessed that we have our in-home studio. Um, my bro Aaron Sledge has his studio, and then my husband he has actual two studios in North Hollywood, California. So that's not a problem at all. We're very blessed to be able to have those resources. But it can be challenging, I would say, to build an audience as a new artist because there's so many artists out there. To be an indie artist, even in the gospel field, even in the inspirational gospel field, it's still a lot of indie artists. So I think to build up an audience has probably been the most challenging in getting it out there, but we've just been doing the best that we can by staying active on social media, using the relationships that we have, the people in radio that's been supporting us. So I'm so grateful to God for that. Setting up as many interviews and speaking to people and telling them about me, letting people get to know me on social media and seeing me in all the different forms, whether it's at church, working in ministry, working as a mom and a wife, and then as an artist. I think people want to get to know you so they can trust you, and then they want to hear your music, and then they want to follow you. So I think that's been more of a challenge. But I think that we're just working through it and praying through it, and I trust God that when things are supposed to break, they'll break. He's already brought me this far. I feel like I've had a great year being my first year as an independent artist, hitting the charts,
Yeah,
putting out two successful songs, having it featured by Mr. Talkbox. Um, I feel like I've done pretty good. I've had almost 10 interviews with radio personalities this year, and have Ontario that's been great, a great support and wanting to help me. I think that I've had a pretty good year, and I'm learning patience, and that God is just preparing every other door that He wants me to walk through.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, um, shoot your email address out there once again, and tell us your social media.
Absolutely. So my email is Vanessa, Vanessa, dot Lovice, Lovice, at gmail.com. And my social media handles are the same, Vanessa Lovice. That's it, Vanessa Lovice.
All right. We have Althea M. Richardson that says, "Good evening. Good evening,
Hello.
Althea. Glad you tuned in."
Hello.
So, Ontario, if a person wants to get in contact with you because they need a promoter, how can they do that?
Um, Facebook under Ontario Richard. Um, email Ontario Richard Promotions at gmail.com or uh, 405-519-6792. Before you go to the next thing, he was modest and humble about himself, but guys, Jay Will's an incredible artist as well. So make
Oh,
sure y'all go get some of his stuff as well.
Wow.
oh man, don't you know now? I'm gonna tell you, old people be crying, man. Don't make me cry, bro. Don't make me cry. I feel it. I feel one coming on, man. I don't.
Oh,
I don't really consider myself as, and I appreciate that, bro. Rose Chapel Community Church says congratulations, Miss Vanessa.
thank you so much, Rose Chapel. Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't really consider myself as much of an artist as I am um, a music expressionist. So I hear the music, I feel the music, and I don't want to die with the music. So I keep putting stuff out there because what good does it make if I think we lost Vanessa, should be back in a minute. But what good is it if you got all this music and it's you just sitting on it,
That's true. It's true.
you know?
Yeah, because a lot of artists wouldn't done that, and some of the stuff that's in their quote unquote vault is hits. They're hits, but they, for whatever reason, they might be afraid to put it out, or they're waiting on a certain time. So just, but I'm glad that you've been releasing your stuff, and it's definitely been a blessing to me, um, as a fan of yours, as well as
Oh man, dude, I told you.
as supporters. So
I
keep
told you.
going, brother.
Old people cry, man. Don't make me do it, man. I'm trying to remain. I'm trying to keep my dignity on this podcast.
It's all good. It's all good, brother.
But those of you that like podcasts, go to J Will Podcast Interviews and Commentary on RSS.com. I have tons of stuff on there that you can review. We did stuff about the California wildfires. We did stuff about Nazis, and this interview with Miss Vanessa is going to be on that podcast platform. And if you have a subject that you want to discuss, hit me up, Will the letter J at gmail.com, Will the letter J at gmail.com, and we'll try to put together a podcast. So I want to bring this up to the both of you because there's been many changes in the gospel industry. And I've even heard some artists that were under contracts with various record labels and stuff like that say they done with it. They not even trying to go. And you find
Hmm.
a whole lot more independent artists now.
Hmm.
And so I I think we've already touched on it a little bit about the royalties that are paid out to indie artists, and you don't get fronted all the big money. Um, but how difficult is it for an indie artist?
You want to go first?
You go. No, you go first.
The main thing is because I deal currently with a lot of artists that was a part of Tribal, um, and other labels that just recently closed over the last couple of years. Um, the thing that I'm starting to realize the common thing that I realized with them was uh, they didn't know what to do behind the scenes. They know how to sing, they know how to write, know how to produce, and all these different things, but they didn't know the business side of how to register their songs on DistroKid or TuneCore, or whoever they use, or how to register on BMI or ASCAP. They didn't know any of those things because they always had people that did it for them. So that's the biggest thing I've seen that's concerning to me, because if your songs are not registered correctly, one, you're not going to get paid. Two, somebody can steal it and they make millions of dollars and take credit for something that they haven't done. Um, so, and of course, having a budget, that's another thing that's been hurting a lot of artists. Because, the Sonys and the Universals, they have billion dollar budgets, but of course, as Vanessa mentioned earlier, independent artists, they're paying out of pocket pretty much for every single thing there is, whether it's recording, whether it's paying the musicians, the background singers, flyers, everything on the sun, paying for. And I think, oh, and understanding contracts. That's another thing that's kind of hurting folks as well. So that's one of the reasons that Stephen Dukes and I and a couple of other friends of ours, like Angel Taylor from Trinity 57, we do these workshops kind of in hopes of teaching people to, to the knowledge so that in the case they do become by themselves or currently by themselves, they already have that knowledge versus just get instead of getting them what's what I'm looking for, taking advantage of, they already have that knowledge for themselves and can apply that knowledge. So they're just some of the things that I've come across. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Miss Vanessa.
So, so for me, I definitely think it's the budget because you want to put out quality music, quality work. So I think it's the budget, and then it is learning and being knowledgeable about the business. I know a lot about corporate America, but learning all of the business entities and the things that go into being a recording artist is very different. Even from being an actress, because I know how to handle a lot of that stuff because I started off acting when I moved to LA 17 years ago. I was doing more acting than music. So I'm grateful for my husband that understands the music side of things. I have that advantage. But for me personally, I still want to know. Knowledge is key. So for me, I do my research with podcasts. I listen to, executives that do training classes and they do lessons and they teach their, short clips on Instagram or TikTok. And like I listen to that stuff. I do research, I'm asking questions. I'm always asking questions. Like I have a list of questions and I work with for my dish I had a distribution deal with You Did It, and that's with Legacy Music Group, Javon Dawkins. And one thing that he's always said about me, he says all the time, he was like, "Sis, I love that you ask questions.
Yeah,
You want to know. I want to know how this works. Make this make sense for me because I'm learning and I want to learn. I want to be prepared for if a situation does come along. I want to be prepared that it is a good situation for me. So I think that that's what some of the things that as an indie artist that they're facing right now.
yeah, yeah. I want to, I want to encourage the indie artists. If you have, if God has placed something on you and something in you that you want to get produced, um, go ahead and start, making your own personal voice recordings and getting that stuff down. And, find a producer that you can trust. Um, and now there's a couple of, asterisks by that. By trust, I mean someone that's going to tell you the truth,
Mm-hmm.
someone that's going to be upfront with you, and
mm,
someone that's not going to take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people out there that just want your money,
yeah.
but they really don't care what the finished
Right.
project sound like,
Right.
or you know, does it sound good or is it bad? They don't care if you succeed or fail. They just want
Mm-hmm.
the money. I'm reminded of uh, a person sent me some music. An artist sent me some music, uh, and the music was so wonderful. I mean, I was like blown away with the music. But the song was written in A, but the artist was singing in the key of E.
Wow.
Mm.
How do you, how is you do you as a producer don't say nothing and let
I
and
like
let
that.
the huh? Eh,
I thought about a situation. What's the Christian way to say this? I just say it like this. I've seen it happen before in real time.
Yeah,
Um, some producers they're good at making the music, but uh, as she's mentioning about Houston, they don't have the ability to hear like the vocal notes. So like, and some of them just don't care at all. Some of them they can hear everything, but they just choose to kind of just kick back, push record, and whatever happens, happens. And like I said, they just collect the money. Um, but I think you got to have that gift to hear the vocals, not just the music, but the vocals as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
have. I think you have a gift to hear, but I
Hmm.
also think that you have to have a gift to care.
Hmm. Yeah,
like,
that too. That's the
like,
most
bruh.
important thing.
So to support the J Will podcast, you can go to Cash App, $ J Will podcast, or via the donate feature on the RSS homepage. And don't forget to hit me up at LeeWill, the letter J at gmail.com. LeeWill, the letter J at gmail.com. And go out and purchase Miss Vanessa's music. I
Yes.
promise you're going to be blessed by it. You've heard her emails and her contact information, and you've heard from the one of the best gospel promoters in the land, Mr. Ontario Richard, over there in
Yes.
Oklahoma, the home of the beef people. They eat a lot of beef over there, man.
Yes, sir.
They beef and barbecue. We don't been from the East Coast to the West Coast, man. I'm telling you, man. We done went from Cobb salads to beef porterhouse. I
Can
really
I say
do.
can I say one more thing before we go?
Yeah, dude, you can say as much as you want to, man. As much as you don't help me out, you go right
No,
ahead.
no, no. I just want to say, for the promoters that's out there, definitely book Vanessa. She's very professional, and
Thank you.
she's going to give you everything that you ask for and more. She's going to bring the anointing to your event, so definitely book her, book her, book her. And her husband, Marcus, he's incredible. Not only a
The
producer but a
Marcus,
musician.
Dr.
Yeah,
Marcus Hodge
yeah.
now. He has
Put
his
some respect on
entourage.
his name.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so proud of y'all, cause like it's I'm in my latter years, but it's great to see young people that are still on the grind doing positive things, cause all we hear about is the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like every time you
true.
turn on the news, it's somebody did this and somebody did that. But to hear, and that's one of the goals of me doing podcasts, um, is to help people understand that there's a whole bunch of people doing positive things,
Hmm.
and I want to promote that side. Let's
Hmm.
hear about some positive. Let's hear about how Miss Vanessa is a strong woman, raising
Hmm.
kids, got a strong family, got people
Yeah.
in ministries, and
Hmm.
working well with her husband. Let's hear
Hmm.
about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear about
and and
Ontario.
and that we're meeting good people. Can I say
Hmm.
that? Like, it's been a
Yeah,
blessing to be able to connect with Ontario. Like, that is still good people out there, because working in this industry, working in this industry, leaving the industry, and then marrying this industry, I see a lot. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot, and
yeah,
It gets
people don't
crazy.
always do you right. My husband is always saying, "You got to watch out for people. You got to watch out for people." I know this industry, so it's a blessing to be able to meet people like Ontario that are genuine and says like, "I'm not just doing this for the money. I'm doing it for the love." That has the same like minded as in family. Him and his wonderful wife and their kids and their grandkids. Like, it's a blessing to just meet good people that just want to do right by each other and
Hmm.
spread the gospel as much as they can. And that's a rarity. You don't hear about that either.
yeah.
You hear
Hmm.
about the mishaps and people being done wrong, but there are still some good people out there. So
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
appreciate you both.
Hey, well, thank you very
Likewise.
much. Thank you
Hmm.
very much. I appreciate you. So, I think we're gonna get ready to check out of here. But listen, don't forget to hit me up, Lee Will, the letter J at gmail.com. Lee Will, the letter J at gmail.com. Use Cash App $podcast to donate to J Will Podcast, or find a donate feature on the RSS homepage. If you need more information, or if you're an inspiring artist and want your music potentially featured on one of my shows, or uploaded to the radio station, J Will Gospel Radio, um, send me a mastered MP3, a photo, and a short bio, and I'll get back with you as soon as time permits. All right. Oh, wait. Don't wait till you get sick to go to the doctor. Get yourself checked out. Get your blood pressure, A1C, cholesterol. Men, get your prostates and all that good stuff checked out. And if the doctor has given you medicine, take your medicine.
Take it.
Take it, because I'm telling you, strokes and heart attacks and stuff is for
Yeah.
real. And we want you to be, the word of God says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health,
Good
even
health.
as your soul prospers.
Hmm.
And so, until the next time, may the Lord God bless and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you, and may the Lord God give you peace. Don't hang up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back at the well.